All right, you guys. Beauty Bar season finale. Like I said on the last episode, I know what it is. VH1 ordered 6 episodes. They wanted to see how everything rocked, see if anybody watched it, see if it was going to catch on. And then they said, well, if it works, we'll order a full season. So that's what it is. We had 6 episodes of Beauty Bar. Um, this episode, it seemed rushed, right? It seemed like they were trying to put a lot into this storyline. They were trying to tie up everything, and they they brought up some serious issues. The episode starts with Talia and Princess having this conversation that started on last week's episode. And in that argument, Talia starts to open up about her trans journey. And she starts to kind of give you an insight into her journey, into her experience that she really hadn't gone into the whole season. And she sort of explains it. She said, I don't like to call myself trans because I don't feel like I'm transitioning into anything. I don't like that term. So she never really, I guess, addressed that issue because she never really wanted to deal with that idea of trans. But what I can't, I'm not going to touch her journey because I don't know that walk, and I'm not going to try to put myself in her shoes. But what I do have a problem with, and I still have a problem with, that doesn't give you an excuse to be a bitch. It just doesn't. I get it. You've had some fucked up experiences. You've had a rough life. You've had some things have gone on, and I'm not judging, questioning any of it. But what I am going to say is, it doesn't give you license to be a bitch, and that's what you are. And then she went in the bathroom crying, and she said, this isn't about Princess, it's just about me and my experiences, and she gets all emotional. But you have to know that you're extra. You have to know that you come off a certain way, and if you don't, hopefully this show, you watching yourself gives you that insight. You are beautiful, but you're a bitch. And at the end of the day, that's what people are going to remember. Um, Again, I'm not going to address, I can't walk your walk. And you've had your experiences. But again, it's just like in anything. That doesn't give us a right. But I also think Princess is a little, we're going to get to that later on. I think Princess is a little sensitive too. Like that situation with V, she has her wall up. And it's like she won't let anybody in either. It's like she doesn't trust anybody. She's the kind of person, if you cross me once, then it doesn't matter what you do, what you say, you always there. And you're going to have to let that go too. Because people fuck up. People make mistakes. But when they apologize, you have to, well, you don't have to. You should look at it for its entirety and look at the sincerity of what people are saying to you. And I think that, like with V, I think it was sincere. And you just wouldn't let her apologize. You just wouldn't let her say, hey, that was in the past. I treated you some kind of way, but let's move forward. But anyway, so that was that conversation. So then we go to the salon, and Princess is doing Brittany Taylor's hair, so that Love and Hip Hop crossover. Again, because we had earlier in the season, we had the Love and Hip Hop Miami crossover with Amar La Negra. Now today, or this episode, we had the Love and Hip Hop New York crossover because you have Brittany Taylor, the rapper from New York, with the blue hair and all of that. And Princess does her wig, and they get to talking, and again, Brittany's talking her experience about how she's, got to hustle and take care of her business. And again, Talia makes it about her. She starts talking about, I don't even know how I got on her, but she starts talking about her struggle in her situation. And I don't know. The conversation went left. I was just like, what the hell? What are we talking about? Um, while they're talking, though, while they're in the salon, everybody's like, where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Where's Kevin? Kevin's nowhere to be found. And Kevin eventually, he calls Talia. He says, look, come outside. Don't tell anybody what's going on. So she goes out to talk to him. And we find out that Kevin had been in a fight with a guy he's dating. And it got physical. And they get to, so they start talking about domestic violence and so forth. And I think this is a serious topic. Well, I don't say I think. It's a serious topic, but what I'm saying is same-sex domestic violence is a serious topic because I think that society treats same-sex domestic violence differently than if it's a woman getting beat up by a man. Um, we have got to understand that just because it's two women fighting or just because it's two men fighting, it doesn't change the reality that these people are in an abusive relationship and it's a domestic violence situation. And I just think that we have to get to that point in society. I had an experience with, at the time, she wasn't a friend of mine at the time. Right now, we're really good friends. But we went in grad school together. That's how I met her, actually. In grad school. And she's gay. And I remember her getting into an argument with her girlfriend, and the girlfriend destroyed her computer, and she had scratches and stuff all over her. And I remember her going to the professor saying, look, I don't have my assignment because this is what happened. And she's explaining the situation, and the professor had no sympathy for her. I mean, his whole attitude was like, oh, well, figure it out. Oh, well, the assignment was due. Oh, well, I can't do nothing for you. But I trust me when I tell you, if she had walked in there and said her boyfriend beat her up last night and her boyfriend broke her computer, the whole attitude would have been different. That professor probably would have bent over backwards, extended the due date, and did everything he could to help her. But because it was a same-sex situation, his attitude was, oh, well, figure it out. And so that's why I'm saying we've got to get to a point where that double standard can't play. And so with Kevin, he's talking to Talia, and Talia opens up and says she's dealt with domestic violence as well. And the fucked up thing is, though, so they talk, and she gives him some good advice and tells him, don't go back, that's it. Basically that whole Maya Angelou, when a person shows you who they are, believe them, and she's like, I know it's hard, but you got to walk away from it. And then Kevin starts talking about finding his own place to live and stuff, and I'm thinking, were you living with this dude? Like, that wasn't clear to me because he made it seem like he was living with this guy. I don't know. And he was saying how he has to go out on his own and he has to really stand on his own 2 feet and find his own place to live, and he's been looking for his own apartment. So, wasn't really clear about that part of it. And if I missed it, y'all let me know. If I missed something, drop it in the comments. But, so he walks off. Talia goes back into the salon, and the first thing she does is tell the whole salon what the fuck is going on. And Kevin, the first thing out of Kevin's mouth was, I don't want anybody else to know. So, anyway, so Talia tells everybody, the salon with Kevin. And I don't think it was done in a place of malice. I think it was done in a good, it was coming from a good place. But at the same time, he said, don't tell anybody. And sometimes you got to let people process and deal how they're going to deal. So we find out that Princess and V have both dealt with domestic violence. And so they start to share their experience a little bit. And again, V was in the same set. No, I apologize. V said the last guy she dated got violent with her to the point where she had to sneak out of her own damn apartment and go down the fire escape. And she said as she was walking down the fire escape, he's throwing hot water on her. Now, I don't know how long it took her to get down the fire escape that he had time to go get hot water and throw it on her, but I'm not questioning her story because I believe her story is true. I'm just trying to picture that shit. And they end up taking Kevin out to eat. And again, I feel like I felt like he was listening, but he wasn't hearing because he's not ready to process that. He's still dealing with it. And you got people coming at him telling him, you got to get out. You can't let this go. It's all coming from a good place, but I felt like it was a bit much. And again, I don't think it was edited that it really wasn't a lot of space. It looked like it was like back to back, but I think there was some time in between. They alluded to something about it being about a week or whatever. So no, I don't think they took him out to eat the very next day. However, I still think their intentions were good. The execution, I think, was a bit much. I know if it had been me, I would not have been ready for that. I would not have been ready for the dinner and everybody coming at me, giving me their experience and telling me what I need to do. Because at the end of the day, you know what you need to do. And one thing Princess said was, people always think they'll handle something a certain way until it's them. And then when it's them, then they don't handle it, they don't handle it that way. And so I think that's valid, obviously, where Princess is coming from. So the advice is good. I just think the timing is a bit much. Um, then we see Rel and Talia sort of make up a little bit. Talia says that she's been invited to participate in a campaign a friend of hers is doing on bullying, and she invites Rel to come and join her. And I think that, I don't know, in her mind, what she says in her confessional is that she doesn't like the way they fell out. She doesn't like the situation, and she would like to, I guess, sort of make amends a little bit. And so, with that being said, she sort of extends the olive branch, I guess. And he takes it. But, he says, I'm going to take advantage and I'm going to be open to this, but I ain't forgot, bitch. I ain't forgot. And I think that's how you have to be with Talia, because, yeah, I think you just need to keep your eye on her. Yep. I think that's how you have to be. You just got to keep your eye on Talia, because I don't know what her intentions are always as pure as she would want you to believe they are. So anyway, they go to the photo shoot. And Rel even talks about how he sort of likes to be a stylist and how he styles Princess. I don't think that's the portfolio you need to use. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But they go to the photo shoot, and they seem to get along really well, even to the point where Talia invites him to be in some of the pictures with her. it he even styles Talia a little bit on the photo shoot, gives her some suggestions and things like that, and it was interesting. I don't know. She seemed to take his advice, and she seemed to think that he had an eye for certain things. So if this season picks up, if they pick up a second season of this, I think we're going to see that relationship develop a little bit, because I think they were kind of on a good trajectory of a relationship until the whole video gate happened. Princess being able to accept the fact that Rel can have other friends, and Rel being open to trusting Talia. So I think that that could be a bond there if the season gets picked up, the show gets picked up. Rewind. Princess goes out on a date with the Vagina Slayer dude. Now, come to find out, he's a crossover from Black Ink. Now, I don't look at Black Ink, and so I don't really know this dude. I don't know his reputation. I don't know a lot about him. But he seems like he has a sort of a shady reputation. And it sounds like he's new kid on the block over at Black Ink. So they bond a little bit about on that, being new kid on the block. They go on a date. He takes her dancing. So look, here's the... But here's the funny thing, y'all. They get done dancing and she says, I need some water. And so he says, oh, I got something for you. And out of his backpack, he pulls out 2 wine glasses and a bottle of wine, y'all. And so that's one of those things that is corny but cute at the same time. It's like, oh, that's cute. It's corny as shit, but that's kind of cute. So, I mean, if that had been me, if somebody had done that on a date with me, in the back of my mind, I'd be like, this some corny shit, but it's kind of cute. So I think that's kind of how Talia took it. Princess took it like, because she seemed to be really impressed by that. But I don't know if in the back of her mind she was really thinking kind of corny. And we find out that when Rel and Talia are talking, Rel is from DC. So he's from my neck of the woods. But I don't understand, because he says he's from DC. And Princess is from New York, but was living in Atlanta. They were both living in Atlanta, and they grew up together. So I don't know if he's from DC and his family moved to Atlanta, just like where Princess lived in New York a few years, and then her family moved to Atlanta. I'm not really sure. That'd be interesting to kind of get that whole timeline breakdown. But when she asked where he was from, he said DC. He didn't say Atlanta. So anyway, it's interesting. Or Maryland. He said Maryland. Whatever. My neck of the woods. So we get to, so remember I told y'all it was a busy episode. We covered a lot of shit in this episode. So we find out that Tess invites everybody to her house for Thanksgiving dinner. She said, we fuss and we fight, but at the end of the day, we're family. And so we go to Thanksgiving dinner at Tess's house. Now, on the way to Thanksgiving dinner, Princess and Rail are talking, and that's why I said that Princess she's gotta let go too, because she's talking about, yeah, I'll go and everything, but she better not come out her mouth sideways to me, because da 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 da. And Real had to stop her and say, Princess, chill out. Like, you can't have that attitude walking in the door, because if you had that attitude walking in the door, it's going to be fucked up. So you gotta chill out a little bit. And so Princess I think she heard him a little bit, and she sort of calmed down. But pause, rewind. V goes to her ex-girlfriend and basically says, look, I know you hurt me. I know we done been through some shit, but I really don't want to live my life with you. And if that's, that whole if loving you was wrong, I don't want to be right type of thing. And the girlfriend says, I know I fucked up, and I know I was going through my own thing, and I kind of handled it badly, and, but I love you and I want to be with you. Now I'm going to say this. I don't like her. Something about her. From the Halloween party, I don't know. It's something about her. I don't like her. And V went on to explain that when her grandmother died is when the old girl disappeared and rolled out. That's when you need people the most. So she couldn't handle that, and that's when she rolled out and started cheating with her ex-girlfriend and all that and acting out. I don't know. It would take a lot for me to trust that. It would take a lot for me to come back to that. And the reality is, it's a show. It's been edited. We only see what they want us to see. But based on what I have seen and what they have shown me, I don't like her. Now, it looks like her and V are still together, because I follow V on Instagram, and she's all up in her Instagram. So they still together, and things, I guess, are still working out for them. And I wish her well, because, I ain't like V at the beginning. And V was extra. That first episode, V was so extra. She was doing way too much. And like I said, I think she had watched too many Love and Hip Hops and thought she had to be the Jocelyn, she had to be that character, the Cardi B or whatever, to get attention or be the breakout. But she calmed down, and she's really showing us a real person, and I really like her, and I don't want to see her get hurt. I really don't. I think she really loves this chick, and I don't want to see this chick hurt her. So we're gonna keep, again, if it's a second season, I'm sure that'll be part of her storyline, and we're gonna see where that goes. Kevin's mom finally calls him back. Again, if you remember from the first episode, he called his mom on his birthday, and his mother hadn't called him back. And so he finally did have a conversation with his mom. And his mom seems to be in a better place, I guess, acceptance of his lifestyle, saying, hey, let's meet up, let's spend some time together, let's see each other. And so that was good. Kevin was in a bad place, with the whole domestic violence situation, and he needed that. And so I feel like that was a good. Again, I'm telling y'all, there was a lot of storylines in this that we tying up, and so that was great. He talked to his mom, and that seemed really good and really genuine, and so I'm happy for him. So V's happy. Kevin's in a good place. Talia is finally opening up about her being trans, and opening up about opening up to other people in the shop, and maybe starting to let some walls down, let them in. Girl, Nordic is Nordic. Nordic just gonna be Nordic. He just trying to put out his music and do some hair. Princess got a little man, and Rail decided to stay, because he said he's picked up some clients. He's in a better place than where he was. He's feeling better about everything. He's making a little bit of money. He's starting to get along with people in the shop or whatever. And so he's feeling better. So that's, their situation. He's going to stay in New York for now. V got her girlfriend. I think that's pretty much everybody. Henry and Tess are just, they own the shop. They Henry and Tess. They didn't really get into anything personal with them. So they go to Thanksgiving dinner, and of course, it's what it is. You know, they all sitting around eating, laughing, joking, enjoying each other, enjoying, just saying how, it's that end of the season bullshit. I love you. I'm so glad we had this experience. Even though we fuss and fight, we're really family. That whole thing. And Talia apologizes to Princess in front of everybody and says, I apologize for basically bullying you and treating you like some shit when you first came to the shop. And Princess, she's like, I accept that. I receive it and I accept it. Because when they were arguing at the beginning of the episode, Princess said, you never apologized to me for getting me suspended and for, the way you handled that. Like, you went to Henry and showed Henry this video without really coming to me, and you fucked up my money. Like, at the end of the day, you was fucking with my money. And so she went to apologize, and Princess was like, nah, I don't want to hear that now. She was like, I want you to apologize when I'm not asking for it. I want you to do it because you want to do it and because it's genuine. And she did. She did. In front of everybody at the Thanksgiving dinner. And so I feel like it was genuine. I feel like she is trying and she wants to be better. So anyway, that's where it ended. Overall, the 6 episodes were decent. I mean, I watched them, it was entertaining. V was, it was entertaining. It did its job as far as that's concerned. And so, if they pick up another season, I wouldn't mind seeing where it goes. I wouldn't mind seeing, them bringing in a few more celebrity clients and exploring people's relationships a little bit more and seeing where everything goes. They've all seemed to be elevated a little bit with the show, and so I'm happy for it. It looks like it's a real salon, unlike that Kimball shit. It looks like it's a real salon because again, I follow them on Instagram, and they're actually in the salon and taking pictures and all that good stuff. So it looks like even when the show's not rolling, they really in there doing hair. So, next time I'm in New York, I might check them out. Yeah, I might go up in there. Might get some color or something, Alright, well, let me know what y'all feel about it. Y'all think it should come back for another season? You think it's going to come back? Drop it down in the comments. Once again, thank you to all the people that have subscribed. The community is growing, and I'm excited about that. And let me get some comments to see how you guys feel. Alright, later.